Hey everyone, I'm Karan from Enable and welcome back to the official video tutorial series on AbleSet. We took a quick peek at Performance View back in Chapter 1 as a more focused display of your playback session, but it can do much more than that. It offers a ton of customization, so it could be a super minimal setup or a full-on control hub, whatever you need. But just a quick detour before that. We'll be using AbleSet's timecode display option here for the first time, so we'll need to set that up first. AbleSet can read linear timecode from the LTC track in your live session if you have the LTC Max for Live device inserted. This comes bundled with the Pro Edition and transmits the timecode information to AbleSet. Back here in my session, I've already created an LTC track that has the LTC display on it, and I've placed LTC audio clips alongside my songs. Next, I'll need to go into the settings of AbleSet, and I'm going to just scroll down to LTC timecode and then activate display LTC timecode right here. Okay, great. With that done, let's check out Performance View. We're going to enter Performance View from the Performance tab up here, and all customization within this happens from the settings menu right here. And again, this is per device, so you can run different settings configurations across your stage setup. Now, this is what the default setup of Performance View looks like, but I'm just going to go through and disable all of these options right here so we can get a more clean starting point and then build the user interface as we go. The primary purpose of Performance View is to give you information about your current song. So I'm just going to activate that here, and then I'm also going to activate song information. First up, I can choose to show any song tags if I have any, and then display whatever section I'm currently in, but also what the next upcoming section is. Now, with these active, I can also show the description. So I can show song descriptions, the description for my current sections, and the description for my next section. Next up, I can choose to show some musical information like tempo and time signature, and I can also show the global quantization, which is again useful if you're using the quantized jump mode so you know how AbleSet will behave. The cool thing about Performance View is that I can not only show my full song duration, but also the remaining song duration, which obviously adapts if I jump through my sections. Okay, I'm just going to go in and hide some of these options again so we don't clutter up our screen too much. Next up, I'm going to activate song progress, so I get a progress bar like I'm used to from Setlist view, and I can again choose to show my section names in here and also the section colors, which again is really useful if you have a consistent color code throughout your sections. If you want a more detailed view of your timeline, you can also show a separate progress bar only for the section you're currently in. And the great part about the progress bar is that I can actually also use this to jump around and navigate through my song. The next option that we have is to actually show a clock, which I think is self-explanatory, but can still be really useful if you're on a tight festival schedule. Just keep in mind though that this takes the time from your device settings, so just make sure that is correct. Since we set up LTC timecode at the start of the video, I can now enable that and we'll see my timecode timestamp right here. And this can be great when I need to communicate timestamps with the lighting or video crews. The next option you'll see is to actually display the current measure. Now, for most contemporary music, you'll probably only talk in sections, but in classical music or orchestra performances, it's helpful to communicate in measures so your playback lines up with the score. But we'll first need to set this up in Ableton. Now, in my live session, I'm going to go ahead and create a new MIDI track and name it Measures. And then just like with sections, I'm going to go ahead and create a 1 bar long clip. And I'm just going to name this 27, and then AbleSet will interpret it as the 27th measure. Normally, you'd need to create 1 clip per bar, which obviously can be a bit tedious, so there's a measure track generator on the AbleSet website, which we've linked in the description. Once you're on the page, select the number of bars that your song has. For me, that's 105, and then the time signature, which for me is 44. And then I can download the measure track right here. The downloaded file is an ALS file that simply has the measure track in it, so I can just drag and drop it from my downloads right here. And then I've got my measures at the beginning of the project. I'm just gonna take them out of there and drop them at the start of my song. Make sure you only keep 1 measure track in total. So if you repeat this process for other songs, move the newly imported measure clips to your main measure track and then delete the extra one. Back in Performance View, I can now activate the current measures and I'll have my measure numbers and the beat numbers right here. If I don't need the beats, I can also turn them off from down here. The next Performance View feature is called Quick Play. And once again, I'll need to go into Ableton itself and set this up. So what I need to do is add 2 larger than symbols to the start of any of my sections. I'm just going to do this for my first chorus right here and my second chorus right here. Now, back in AbleSet, if I activate Quick Play, I get these 2 badges. And the idea behind this is to just have a limited number of sections that you want to jump to available to you right here. And the cool thing is, these also work as mini progress bars. Below Quick Play, I have the option to toggle on track groups. For now, this will just show me a button where I can mute or solo my click track. And there'll be more track groups showing up here as we set them up later. The cool thing is that if I have click solo MIDI map, then this will also work as a visual feedback indicator for my click solo state. Okay, moving on. We've got the option to show the next song or whichever song is queued up to play next. And then I can also show the total number of remaining songs and the total remaining time in my entire set list, which can be especially useful together with the clock to see when your set will end. Performance View also offers a visual metronome, but this takes up the full screen as you can see here, so you get an even better indication of where you're at. Lyrics is another great feature that's a bit too deep for this video, so we'll cover it in the next chapter, but here's a quick preview of what that could look like. Compared to Setlist View, Performance View offers a different approach to viewing playback while still giving you all the control that you want, but for me personally, I sometimes still miss the workflow of Setlist View, so the cool thing is that I can just open a Setlist View window embedded into Performance View right here. To bridge this gap even further, you can also show the Re-enable Automation button, the Record button, as well as the Loop button. Just keep in mind that for editing the setlist, you'll need to go back to the Setlist View though. Okay, that's all for Performance View. Next up, we'll show you how AbleSet is the perfect tool for redundant playback setups, so keep watching. Head over to ableset.com to get your copy of AbleSet and check out Enable for more tips on playback, Enable, and Live. If you find these videos helpful, please leave us a like and please subscribe.